This is my math grid game I made in Python. So first I import turtle and random. Random's used a bit later. I instantiate t as my first turtle, and I increase the speed to 100 to make things look instant. Then I pick up the pen. G is my second turtle, and I do the same with the speed. S represents the width, or the size, of each grid square. X is the dot position, because I'll place a dot in the grid, and it tracks the X position. And then score, it keeps track of the score of the game. Ops is ops is a list of operations of addition, subtraction, and multiplication, and names is a list of the names of each one. So this is the actual operations, and this is the names of each one. It's important to notice that they're in the same spot, or in the same sequence. So addition's in one, in subtraction and multiplication's all the same. They match each other in order. So I instantiate I is 0, and while I is equal to or lesser than 8, it's going to do this, and then it's going to increase I by 1 each time. This draws my vertical lines, and it's going to move over by negative 240 plus I minus S. So this essentially is my starting position, and then it's going to multiply I, so 0 through 8, sorry, including 0, times S, which was 60. So for each iteration, it's going to move over that much. This is the top, and then as you see, just the Y value changes. So it's going to draw from top to bottom. These are my horizontal lines. It's pretty easy. It goes from one point to the other point, and it picks up the pen in between so it's not drawing all over the place, as you can see here. Draw dot is a function that I defined. So it clears t, and t only draws the dot. So it's just going to clear the previous dot, and it's going to go to the X position plus, it's very similar to up here, the X value times the width of each thing, which was S. And then it's going to place a dot at that point. X increases with each correct answer, as you'll see, so it'll keep moving over. This defines my question, my math question for the game. These A and B are my two random numbers between 1 and 10. And R is a number I use to represent the operation. So for here, for I zip ops and names together up here. So it basically combines these into one thing. Addition, these are both as one now. And then I enumerate them. So I give each pair of ops and names, or operations and names, a number value in the index. And then when I equals R, the certain value, it's going to pick a certain operation, right? And then answer I instantiated as A, so the number from here, plus B. So this one's plus because this is my plus section, minus section, and multiplication section. It builds the random question, and this is a really nice and easy way to do it. This actually puts the question together. So F is for the formatting, and it'll input what we had for A, the operation, B, and then the name of it, because ops and names are combined, so it'll do that. U equals in plus input Q plus that. And it'll return U is equal to the answer if it's true, because U is the user input. If the user input and the answer for each of these are equal, it'll be true or false. And then this just calls my function draw dot, and it'll draw the dot. This is like my main. These are my two like title sections, and this one explains it. While X is less than 8, so it doesn't do too many questions. If the question is equal to true, so if this is equal to true, it's going to print correct, and then /n, it just spaces the lines in the output box. And then it'll add score to 1, they'll add X to 1. so it'll move over and then it'll up the score by 1, and then it'll call draw dot again, so it'll move the dot over. And then else it's going to print incorrect, try again, and then it's going to give you another question. And then once x is equal to 8, it's going to print, you finish the end of the grid, and then it's going to print your score, which is going to be 8. So I'll demonstrate how it works. So 10 minus 7 is 3. See, we got it right and moved the dot over. 3 plus 5 is 8. We'll move it over. Say we'll get one wrong, we'll put this as 10. Incorrect, try again. It doesn't move the dot. 2 minus 6, that's negative 4. This is 16. Let's put another wrong one. Let's go 2. Let's go 13. And I'll just get to the end really quick. And then it goes one pass, which is 13. And then once it reaches the outside of the grid, or escapes the grid, it'll print, you've reached the end of the grid, your final score is 8. That has been my math grid game in Python using Turtle.